Hello everyone. In this video, we will talk about assessments, why their inclusion is important in lessons, and what their main categories or types are. Essentially, assessments are evaluation tools used in lessons that help keep track of learners' progress as well as provide feedback to both the instructors as well as the learners about the effectiveness of lessons. They are an integral tool of any lesson and depend to a large extent on the learning objectives created for the lesson. Assessments form an important part of any lesson, mainly due to the following reasons. They measure learners' level of mastery of the contents covered in the lesson. They help keep track of learners' progress. They help learners identify the most important components of a lesson. They give instructors an idea about the effectiveness of their lessons. They help identify areas where individual learners might be conceptually and or skillfully strong and areas where they might need help. They help in providing corrective feedback to learners. Assessments are primarily of two types. These are formative assessments and summative assessments. Let us now look at each of these types of assessments individually. A formative assessment is an evaluation tool that is basically used during the course of a lesson to get an idea of the learner's level of comprehension of the concepts covered in the lesson so far. Common examples of formative assessments are short quizzes or understanding checks given to learners in the middle of a lesson and exit slips used at the end of a lesson. Formative assessments are primarily used to give learners and the instructor immediate feedback regarding the effectiveness of a lesson and the learner's progress through it. They usually carry minimal or no grades, and learners are usually encouraged to attempt them again and again until they achieve satisfactory results. Formative assessments can be of any type. They can be as simple as asking learners to raise their hands in response to a question, or can even be a little complex, such as asking learners to depict their understanding in the form of a concept map. However, the important thing to keep in mind is that an assessment would be classified as a formative assessment if it helps the instructor and learners receive immediate feedback, so that the course of learning may be altered if needed. A summative assessment, on the other hand, is an evaluation tool that is generally used at the end of a unit or semester to evaluate learners' progress by comparing it against a standard or benchmark. Examples of summative assessments are end of the unit graded tests, midterms, and final exams. Summative assessments are usually more elaborate than formative assessments as they are used to grade learners. Sometimes the results of summative assessments may also be used to alter instruction in subsequent units or academic sessions. In such cases, these summative assessments would also play the role of formative assessments. Both summative as well as formative assessments are important parts of any lesson and help enrich the learning experience in different ways. Good assessments can make learners apply their knowledge in various ways, thus helping them develop much needed higher order thinking skills. To learn more on this topic, explore the additional resources given near the end of this week's module. You can also use the internet to research more on the topic and should consider posting any good web links that you find on the topic to the week's general discussion forum. Thank you, and I will see you in the next lesson.